circumstances circumvent both the Stampeders and the Alouettes here tonight, but for differing reasons. The good news is they get to sort it out live on Friday Night Football. And in his valiant return after the torn hamstring, he said it was going to take a long time to get back. He knew it immediately after the injury. Well, here he is. You watch the way that he plays, the amount of motion they put him in as well as they do here early on as Alexander looks to throw down the field, pumps twice, throws across his body on a rope and right on the money across the 55. It is Sneed on cue. Diaz. Plenty of leg as we've seen all season, but this one goes wide. And Eric Brooks, the top-rated returner, according to Pro Football Focus last week, dances around in the end zone, and Isaac Adeyemi-Berglund will be kind enough to escort him out of the back.
Typical Vernon Adams. Trying to make those big plays, push the ball deep.
To try and get back in the lineup as Alexander stares down 2nd and 10. Blitzes on and it gets home. It's Bailey Devine-Scott, the global, who hits Alexander and knocks off the bucket.
We have roughing the passer, Calgary, number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Jose Maltos Diaz as this one comes from 44. And on the money this time, straight through. Calgary's offense stays on the field, sitting at 8-5 on the season. Traveling on the road, dealing with the noise in Quebec. Little crossing road and VA on the money as Dom Rhymes extends his catch streak yet again in 2025. Right there, all over it from Burns as now it leaves VA with 2nd and 10. Crossing route once again. Clark Burns takes the grab at the 20 to the 15, the 10, and he's out of bounds inside the 5-yard line as Wesley Sutton right there to escort the Guelph Griffin. Alouettes 7-7, sitting 2nd in the East Division. Trying to get a stop. It's a corner route going into the end zone in front of Wesley Sutton. And it's Jalen Philpott with the touchdown for Calgary. Hold it to a gain of 1 on the flip underneath. Now Alexander, he throws over the top. Rambo! Dropped it in the bucket for a touchdown!
You called it.
And flags fly after the play as Alexander celebrates. Could have been his first on the campaign. As VA gets hit as he throws up for grabs. It falls to the turf. Incomplete. Mustafa Johnson wrapping his way around the offensive line and getting a big chunk of VA who felt that one. Alexander on 2nd and 10. Drops underneath, pulls speaker. Blockers out in front. He's got the first down and more. Down the left sideline to the 30. Cuts it back to the 20-yard line, and he's tackled inside the 15 finally. It's Onyeka that brings him down. Sometimes simple is the best method. Didn't have to go for the touchdown shot to Philpott to get the yardage. They just dump it underneath. Trelli in open space. Now it's Philpott diving for the end zone. Again, one-on-one against Adrian Green. What a great back and forth they're having on this drive. Shea Patterson comes into the ball game at quarterback. Plunges to the left-hand side. Flags are up. And spiraling his way through traffic into the end zone. And it looks like the Alouettes have extended
Offside,
their lead.
Calgary, defensive line.
A true home, but can use them in so many different ways. VA takes inside, then the end round, and then gets thrown down. Isaac Adeyemi-Berglund makes the play, and the Canadian sack race is on. Scott seems like a smaller guy, but 6'1", 218. He brings some thunder, is also getting rocked as Davis Alexander. The ball is loose, and they will whistle it dead. They'll say incomplete, as Adam Bighill ended up with the football in his hands. The former Winnipeg Blue Bomber, of course. Down to the Montreal 21-yard line. We roll inside, 1 minute remaining in the first half. Calgary trailing, looking for something. VA pumps, gets outside, now he uses legs. Gets 2 blocks, reaches the edge, no flags, down! Vernon Adams Jr. dances his way through the Montreal secondary.
VA was not going to allow himself to be forced out of bounds here. Freezes both Sankey and Murray to the inside. Looks like he may head for that sideline.
Ventrelli getting out front, the right guard. Now Calendar on the left. The snap comes down to Davis Alexander's ankles. Looking over the top, fades away. Did he get enough arm on it to Philpott? Caught it at the 35. And Davis Alexander makes something out of absolutely nothing.
Well, we've talked about this aspect of Vernon Adams Jr.'s game, Davis Alexander as well.
Snap comes up, handed off. No, he'll keep it himself. Takes a shot over the top, through the uprights. Incomplete, flag comes down as Philpott was interfered with, and was that on Yeka in coverage, getting the start this week at that boundary halfback spot.
A closer look
Pass
here.
interference, Calgary, number 27.
The 9th overall draft pick receiver draws a penalty on the 10th overall DB as flags come up and into the end zone. Shea Patterson for the second time here tonight. It was a rugby expert who was thrilled about the way the women were playing. As this one picked off, Tyrese Bevereff got it in his hands and returns to the 30-yard line. Vernon Adams Jr. struggling last week against the Lions at home. Here on the road, throws it right between the 2 and the 6. And momentum at their back. It's a flea flicker. A little bit of showmanship here from Jason Moss on the offense. Over the top, looking for Tyson Philpott, who tries to draw the flag.
Pass interference, Calgary, number 35. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Shea Patterson back in with the short yardage team. Going for the trifecta of short yardage touchdowns. Pushes on the left-hand side, never in doubt. First and 20. Four-man rush is picked up. DA uses the legs. Crosses the 30 and slides down. And as he stands up, gets run into. But they'll say no harm, no foul there from Adams Jr., despite a conversation and a little extra at the end of the play. The ageless one, Rene Paredes, 33 yards out. Tacks on the triple. One of the true positionless players, it feels like. It's now the snap high, rolled into the Calgary end zone, and it gets worse for the Stampeders as VA somehow dances away from 3, looks down the field, and makes a completion. Are you kidding me? Vernon Adams Jr. just took an absolute mess, polished it, and it turned into a diamond.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, Vernon Adams. I mean, it
might seem like a whole lot of nothing at this point in the ball game, but depending on how this one turns out, to flip what could have been a disaster play at the start of that drive. Whoa, Shea Patterson. He's had quite the night, but Kyle Wilson's had enough of it. As a hush falls over Percival Molson, plenty of leg, and on the money from Maltos Diaz. The former Alouette VA, eyes wide open on 3rd down. Looks to the left, escapes pressure, makes a hit miss, loses his helmet, and they'll whistle this play dead.
And of course, play stopped for, I think, fairly obvious safety reasons.
That's the play clock roll inside 5, now rips it to the outside. Tyson, one-on-one, has to make a man miss to get to the end zone, and stacked up. Pushed away, David Dallaire trying to get there, to give a little bit of extra energy and effort.
Crackback block, Montreal, number 85. It's a 15-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage.
He can't run.
Maltos Diaz hammers it through.
Quarterback.
And Vaughn rolls his way to the right. Did they rip the football out? DeQuoy's on top of it. And after all of that, a fitting way to wrap this one up. Davis Alexander gets the Gatorade bath in his return, and mutual respect between those two. VA and DA